In this video, we're going to ask the question, is one-page rules ruining Warhammer? Hey everybody, my name is Ronald, and this feels like the question that we're asking right now. Is one-page rules, with its simple rules and easy-to-play gameplay and smaller version of Warhammer and Warhammer 40k, ruining Games Workshop? You might have heard a lot about one-page rules. It feels like they're getting a lot of publicity here within the last 6 months or so, and I think that's rightly so. One-page rules is a game system, and if you play Warhammer from Games Workshop, you will probably recognize a lot of things that one-page rules is doing. And you might be a little weirded out by that, because one-page rules has some really simple rules, it feels like. Their name is one-page rules. And, well, to be fair to them, it's not just one page. See, there's the free-to-play rules, which you can play for free, and they are just one page, double-sided, right? So it's one page, but you have to have both sides of the rules. In fact, I've got it right here. This is Grimdark Future, the 40k equivalent of one-page rules, and the other page is this one here. It's got all the special rules on there that you might need, you know, like things like what's a transport, or what does it mean if it's AP or ambush, things of that nature. But this is the entirety of the rules that you need to play one-page rules. They actually have a free starter set that's longer than one page. It reminds me of the Start Here booklets Games Workshop used to put out with their big boxes that helped you understand, okay, this is how you learn to move, this is how you learn to shoot, this is how melee works, this is how, you know, a leadership test works. One-page rules has that as well. They're simple. I will give you that. The rules do not take up a lot of screen time. And wanting to be fair to Warhammer, I went back a little while ago and was looking at, okay, the new Fantasy of Age of Sigmar edition just dropped. Let me look and see what's new this time around, what it's going to be. And I went to the Games Workshop website, and I was just trying to find where to start. And I kept on hitting these roadblocks in the website, and I was like, start here, but buy our product. Start here by purchasing this box set. And it just kept over and over again, felt like unnecessary roadblocks to me wanting to figure out how to play the game. Even to the point to where when I did find it, it wasn't intuitive or easy. It was actually a little frustrating just to try to dive back in there. And it's really easy to see the contrast between Warhammer, who has a ton of rules that can be really deep and super complicated, but can maybe pull off some really cool gameplay stuff, with one-page rules. It literally has one page of rules. Now, it's not just one page of rules. I actually also have here a army. If you were to print off an army for one-page rules, this is a High Elf Fleet's 1,000 point army, 5 units with a leader as well. This is also another page. So I guess really you might say it's 3-page rules, 4 if you've got a friend coming along with you. But this is everything that you would need to play right here on this piece of paper. And once you print off these things, you've got everything you need. You don't need a big army book, you don't need a complicated codex, you don't need a rules update that may or may not happen every 3 months. It kind of is really antithetical to Warhammer. And OPR has free starter sets. Now you can go and get some more reasonably priced starter sets. So if you went online to Games Workshop website, you could buy the new introductory Age of Sigmar set. This is the one with Stormcast and Skaven. It is $65 right here. And of course you can go on Amazon, you could buy the cheaper one, Or if you wanted more spacey type things, you could go buy the one with Space Marines and Tyranids, and it's also $65. And that's how you would get into playing Warhammer at the cheapest possible rate, by buying one of these two sets. And so if you were going to get into one-page rules, what would that cost you? Well, this is One Page Rules Grimdark Future Starter Set. Now, this one is pretty important, and you need to understand here. These models right here, these are 3D print STLs. You have to own a 3D printer in order to play it just like this. But do you see this button here? You can download all that for free. So if you already have a 3D printer, you can download this whole set right here for free and get started. It has the Grimdark Future rules, it has the Grimdark Future firefight rules as well, meaning if you really like playing kill teams, this can also get you started in there. And then it has the STLs, which are some Saurian Star Hosts, 3 different units of those, Geckos, Warriors, and Guardians, and then Change Demons, the Warriors, the Furies, and the Screechers. Some urban terrain, rules, and tokens, all of that you can 3D print. But also what's really cool is One Page Rules has paper miniatures as well. So you don't even need a 3D printer, you just need a printer. And you don't even really need a great printer as well, because all of these paper miniatures aren't just the ones that you have to cut out and stand up. They actually have tokens as well. So the sci-fi one is free, which is pretty great. And so is the fantasy one as well. And with the fantasy one, you get the Ratman Warriors, Grenadiers, and Storm Veterans. These rats right over here. You get the Plague Demon, Furies, Warriors, and Swarms as well. And then you get some forest terrain. The same deal. You get your tokens, your measuring tape, and the same rules. So the rules of Warhammer, a fantasy equivalent called Age of Fantasy, and then your skirmish equivalent, which is called Age of Fantasy Skirmish. Same deal too. Free STLs and free paper minis. So in order to get started, balloons. Why are there balloons? In order to get started with One Page Rules, it's free, which is pretty great. But let's be real, it's not just the fact that One Page Rules is free and Warhammer is at least $65 to get started. There's an aspect of listening to the community as well. So I know One Page Rules just recently put out their community survey results, and it was really fascinating. They were asking people what armies they played, they were asking people what they were excited about from One Page Rules, and what they wanted to see in the future. You know, did they want Dungeons and Dragons campaigns? Did they want some opportunities to play some different types of games? And how were the other things reacting? So what One Page Rules is saying is they want to take these community results and do something with them. Actually change the directory of where their company is going based on what they hear from you and I, the players of One Page Rules. Now, I know Warhammer has things where they listen to a community as well. They have the Warhammer community blog where they share tidbits and sneak peeks and all that stuff. And recently, with the release of the Skaven Tide box set, they had the Slaughter at Hellcrown Global campaign. The winner revealed. And what it revealed is that the Skaven won. And so now we have the opportunity to buy Skaven first. And we'll have the opportunity to buy the Stormcast later. But this was listening to the community and the options that they had there so that they could tell us which set we get to buy next. Way to go, Warhammer. And speaking of community, here's something that I'm excited to ask and tell you about. Would you please consider becoming a Patreon supporter of me and my channel? This is all new for me, and so is Patreon. This is actually the first time I'm plugging it and letting you know about it. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/acceptablyepic, and I would love for you to come and hang out with me. They're just 3 tiers. I didn't want to make it super complicated for you all. Tier number 1 is just a chance for us to get to hobby together, and it shows me that you are supporting what I'm doing here on the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Once a week, we're going to have a hobby time where we live stream hobby. You can hobby, I'll hobby along with you. I'll answer your questions that you might have. And as patrons, you get to vote on what type of hobby activity we're going to do. Are we going to paint? Are we going to craft? Are we going to model? Are we going to try to learn Blender and 3D printing and things like that? What's that going to look like? Are we going to try to put models together? You'll get to vote, and we'll try to do that on a weekly basis so that we can have some community. The second tier is going to be you who really want to support me and maybe also have some different ways to play battles. Once a month, I'm going to release scenarios for you to play with your battles. You should be able to play with either Warhammer or one-page rules or different games that are similar to those. A fantasy scenario and a sci-fi scenario for you and your friends to play, just to mix things up a little bit and make it more interesting for you and your play group. And then the last tier is just going to be for those of you who want to support a little extra. There's no new gift with that last tier. It's just you saying, hey Ronald, yeah, we appreciate your channel, what you're doing, and we just want to support you more. And if you would be interested in doing that, you could go to patreon.com/acceptablyepic. It would mean the world to me. It would allow me to create cooler videos. It would give me some chance to maybe make this stuff cooler, some better lights and sound and things like that, and it would really, really help me out. And if you've just got a little bit of extra money to throw my way, thank you. It'd mean the world. Speaking of money, One Page Rules has sales that are actually sales. I went looking for Warhammers and Games Workshop sales, and I couldn't find any. They don't have sales per se. They might have things on their website that are, discount boxes. I guess that counts as a sale. One Page Rules is having a My Mini Factory summer sale. This thing's actually good until September 9th. You don't have to be a patron of One Page Rules at all in order to benefit from this. It's 50% off every model and range that they sell. In fact, they put it here that it's my time for the My Mini Summer Factory sale. Like, if you are a Patreon and you're paying them $10 a month too, it's not 50% off, it's 70% off everything that they sell. They even say, hey, go find our really big armies and buy something that way. Which, I mean, as an Empire player, you could go and find something like this, which I bought at the last 70% off sale. But let's say you're not a patron of One Page Rules, you're just checking them out, maybe you just bought a 3D printer and you want to try something out. This normally costs $80. Now I want you to see what all we've got here. We have our shooters, like our marksmen, we have our normal men-at-arms with spears and halberds and swords. We have general characters down here with both like your general and a captain, as well as captain on steed. You have knights over there, both like heavy knights as well as some more lightly armored knights. You have some really cool like griffin riders happening here, which are pretty sweet. And then you have this old school looking war wagon. Do you remember the war wagon with the grappler and stuff? One Page Rules has really recreated that here in this army set, and this is normally $80. And this is what you get here: 6 generals, 7 captains, 13 captains on horse, 2 standard bearers, 18 infantrymen, 19 marksmen, 8 fanatics. I forgot about the fanatics. Where are the fanatics in there? They're in there. Oh yeah, they are. They're kind of in there in the middle part. I even forgot about the fanatics. All right, 9 glyph riders and 2 war wagons. Everything fully supported, and it's $40 just because it's on sale. And all this stuff is on sale until September 9th. So if you're watching this video now, you should go and get it. And if you're watching this video after September 9th, well, I really think you should consider being a Patreon of One Page Rules for $10 a month. It's currently August. This is what One Page Rules is offering for $10 a month. All of these STL files for you to buy, just so that you can have. These are all high elf fleets. They're sci-fi elf range. It's like Bike Month, which I'm loving so much. I've already printed up a lot of these, and then this is their new and unique to them army of the Shadow Stalkers. Some really crazy looking fantasy type beasts here, and you can see they have some knights, some big old guys as well, some stalker terrors. They're pretty cool. I really enjoy one-page rules. In fact, you might understand that I'm not asking the question, is one-page rules ruining Warhammer, but is one-page rules helping people see that there could be an alternative to Warhammer? Now, maybe you don't like one-page rules. That's fine. I'm not trying to get you to quit playing a game you enjoy. If you enjoy playing Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, if you really like playing 40K or Kill Team, keep playing those games. Don't let me stop you from having fun. That's definitely not what this channel is about. But for me and my journey, one-page rules has made wargaming fun again. I'm having a good time playing war games because of one-page rules. Maybe it's because of the free rules. Maybe it's because of the ridiculous amount of STLs that they give me every month for $10. Maybe it's because of the fact that I feel like it's a gaming company listening to the community and doing cool stuff for the community. Or maybe it's just the fact that it's a gaming company that's letting me know months in advance what they're working on. Right now, they're letting me know the next 2 big armies they're going to be putting out is their Human Defense Force, which is their Astra Militarum or Imperial Guard, and their Wood Elves, which are their Wood Elves. But they're letting us know, okay, this is the next one and the next couple of months of files that you're going to be getting from us for you to play with. I love it. And I don't think one-page rules is ruining Warhammer. I think it's allowing me to have fun playing war games again. But I'd love to know what you think about that. Do you think one-page rules is ruining Warhammer? Do you think it's helping people see that war games could be fun? Do you think it is making it harder for Games Workshop to compete? Or is it just not bothering Games Workshop at all? Let me know down in the comments. It would mean so much to me. And again, this is a smaller channel. I can mostly interact with everybody down there, so I'd love to respond to you so we can have a conversation. And if you haven't yet, it would be really great if you could hit this bell, should be down here or so, and subscribe to the channel. Just so you know when I release a video, it helps me out a lot, and maybe it'll make us both feel better. Hey, my name is Ronald, and I hope no matter what you're playing this week, you're having a lot of fun doing it, because this is a hobby. We get to have fun. I hope you're having fun, and we will see you next time.